Citizens speak out. People from all walks of life continue to demand basic rights for themselves and their families as they gather in countries such as Âu Lạc or Vietnam, Bahrain, Egypt, Libya, South Sudan, Syria, and Yemen.
Âu Lạc. Demonstrators in front of the Chinese embassy on Saturday, July 9th, were forcibly dispersed by police, with 10 who were arrested, including several journalists. This was the first time in 5 weeks that the rallies, which were held in protest of China's territorial claim to certain areas in the South China Sea, were disturbed by security personnel. With diplomatic resolution having already been agreed between the two countries, longtime analysts such as Australia-based Carl Thayer stated that the government's recent official accord could explain its efforts to quell internal dissension.
Egypt. Responding to protests that have escalated over the past 2 weeks, Prime Minister Essam Sharaf on Saturday stated that all police officers accused of killing protesters would be suspended and that a committee was being established to ensure speedier prosecution of former government members. Activists, however, remain skeptical, saying that the Prime Minister's declarations were vague. They continue to maintain a presence in Cairo's Tahrir Square, saying they would stay until the original demands of the revolution have been met. These include ending the military trials of civilians, requiring police accountability for murder and torture of protesters, and open trials for former regime officials.
Bahrain. On Friday, July 8th, top cleric Sheikh Isa Kazim spoke out against government-led reconciliation talks, saying that the government is only interested in very gradual change. The Bahrain Center for Human Rights also stated that just 35 of the 300 seats in the talks have been allocated to the minority parties, indicating that the dialogue is not fairly representative.
Sudan and South Sudan. In a visit to the North Sudan capital Khartoum on Friday, United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon requested that the government extend the mandate of the United Nations mission in Sudan to help re-establish peace in the disputed border region between Sudan and South Sudan, where tens of thousands have recently fled due to conflict.
I know that the secession is painful, emotionally and financially and politically, but I believe Sudan will have a bright future and continue to be a leader in the region. While the people of North and South Sudan will soon live in different countries, their future will continue to be closely linked.
Libya. Meeting with activists in Benghazi Sunday, Australian Deputy Foreign Affairs and Trade Secretary Paul Grigson pledged his government's continued support as a primary humanitarian aid provider for the Libyan people, as he also reaffirmed Australia's acknowledgement of the National Transition Council as their legitimate representative.
Yemen. According to Press TV, thousands of protesters in Sana'a and Taiz on Saturday rallied for a second day after Yemeni President Ali Abdallah Saleh had appeared in a televised speech insisting that he would stay in power. The demonstrators renewed their calls for the president's resignation and for the formation of a transitional council.
Local medical personnel in Taiz reported on Sunday that 3 citizens were killed and 10 more injured in clashes between government forces and armed tribal gunmen. While in the Red Sea port of Hudaida, activists and residents stated that plainclothes police shot live bullets at protesters, with at least 100 who had to be admitted to a local hospital.
Syria. On Saturday, Human Rights Watch said that interviews with Syrian army defectors revealed that they were forced to shoot dozens of unarmed protesters and arbitrarily arrest hundreds, while at risk of being shot themselves if they disobeyed orders. Activists, meanwhile, stated that at least 15 people were killed during Friday's nationwide protests, with more people injured, including children.
On Sunday, the Syrian government launched a 2-day national dialogue with different parties for discussions leading towards democratic reforms. However, Syrian activist groups rejected the dialogue, saying it was meaningless as long as the government continued its violent crackdown on innocent people.
In sadness for the lives lost and all who have been wounded or otherwise afflicted, we pray for the conflicts in every country to cease so that global citizens may choose peaceful, free, and dignified lives.